Hello my beautiful Bitterroots and welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to do something that I haven't done in a long while, is react to Foodie Beauty. I started watching Foodie Beauty because of her weight loss. Everything that she's been wanting to do for weight loss, and so I started watching her. I started watching Evelyn Reed when her and Becky were really starting to lose that weight and doing really well, and they've both like completely fallen away, and I'm still on a weight loss journey. I have a long ways to go. So I pull inspiration from people like Foodie Beauty. I heard that Chantel rage quit again. No joke. I heard that she rage quit. Apparently there's a video that just got put up, a 2-hour video of everything chronologically what she has done since the beginning of her YouTube career to where she's at now. So I haven't been watching Foodie Beauty for that long, so I decided let's do a react, and I'm gonna have to cut it down. This is exactly what I look like when I get up in the morning. I haven't even brushed my hair. So I'm like, since I'm sitting here watching a 2-hour video, Chantel Marie, might as well just get ready for the day. Let's just get ready for the day. Even including, I haven't even taken my medicines for the day. I have multiple sclerosis and fibromyalgia. So my medications are the ones that keep me active. Excuse the icky bruising. I had a 6-hour IV session for my Ocrevus. It's my 6th MS medication. So I had a vein blow here, and so I have a 50-cent piece bruise on my arm. It's not pretty, so ignore that, but we'll just do my whole morning routine and just slow it down, obviously, and then I think I'll even do a mask. I mean, I've got 20 minutes to sit here and do a mask while I react to you guys. I mean, it may look really goofy, but hey, who cares? If Chantel Marie can take off her bra and smell it on camera, I think I can wear a mask on camera at the same time. So let's just get started on this shindig, and I will start out my whole morning routine with first taking my medications because they are important. The Canadian Horror Story, and this is why Chantal completely popped off on Twitter. She deactivated her account. You can't find her anymore. But if you look at Michael B. Petty and Zachary Michael, they've got receipts. So you'll be able to see what she popped off about. But this is by Toad McKinley. Empira. Ooh, that's creepy. Empira helps me walk better. I get drop foot and I trip a lot, so this helps me walk better. So if you have multiple sclerosis and you have walking issues, ask your neurologist about Empira. And Lyrica for pain, because with MS and fibromyalgia, pain sucks wet.
You know you've made a few pretty significant mistakes in your life when a simple Google search of your name returns a link to your Kiwi Farms thread as the first result. These results are videos about you instead of by you. These are the telltale signs that you are not an entertainer, but the entertainment. The vast majority of views and therefore revenue produced by your presence going directly into the pocket of the people talking about you while you struggle to get by, and every attempt you make to silence them and put the money back in your own pocket only helps them to grow richer. This is the position that the Foodie Beauty has found herself in, her seemingly only recourse to leave the internet and find a real job. However, that simply isn't possible. By their nature alone,
I have no immune system.
Any celebrity but herself. But, to be fair to her, trapped in this
her mukbangs,
Sisyphean prison,
she's gained so much weight doing them.
To be able to afford food to eat.
Hamble beginnings.
Born Chantal Marie Olive in 1984, the Foodie Beauty is a 35-year-old Canadian mukbang YouTuber. According to her YouTube About Me section, her channel is about, quote, an unapologetic fat girl who loves food, fashion, and vlogging. This is not a weight loss channel. Welcome. Anyone with even a passing familiarity with Chantal knows that this is far from an accurate description. One more fitting would read,
weight
A morbidly
loss.
obese woman struggling with a severe doctor-diagnosed eating disorder and rapidly deteriorating mental and physical health, brought on by her refusal to address her addiction to food in any meaningful way, and her constant need to antagonistically engage with anyone who has even the slightest criticism of her, regardless of their intention.
True.
If you were to try and gauge the kind of person Chantal
She's
is by
awful
clicking on one
and
of her videos
mean.
at random, if you were to try and judge this book by its cover, you'd be inclined to think that she was just your typical basic female with a rather obvious
She's a
addiction
mean
to
girl.
food, who shares just a little too much.
Flat out
Most of her
mean girl.
stories are boring, albeit disgusting. She seems like a bit of a dork, her friends are all nerds. But if we peel back the layers just a little bit, if you can stomach the unsettling way she eats and her propensity for discussing bodily functions in great detail, you'll find someone who is self-absorbed, cruel, vindictive, and quite possibly the most impulsive person you will ever find on this platform.
Whole thing
Basically,
gone.
she's the kind of girl that most guys only put up with because they're knockdown, drag-out gorgeous. Which is why the men she's surrounded herself with are either self-admittedly autistic like her ex and, best friend, Pete's,
She has a better relationship with him than BB.
in order to maintain their citizenship, like her current, boyfriend, BB. If you really take a dive into Chantal's content, you'll find that she has led a rather troubling life. She was born to a teen mother and her parents split very early on. They traveled around quite a bit until her mother finally married her stepfather. Her stepfather was the primary
Zany
father
Lady
figure
body
in her
sprays,
life,
I
and
use
she's
for a
mentioned
hair
on several
perfume.
occasions that she has abandonment issues from her biological father not sticking around. They are so estranged, in fact, that he has 2 children who she has never even met.
I have 2 brothers my dad has with another woman, and I've never met them.
Her mother and stepfather had another child when Chantal was 11 years old. In a pinned comment of their family pizza party video in which the sister appears, Chantal says her sibling has a mild learning disability. There are plenty of reasons to doubt what Chantal says just based on her well-known behavior of putting others down in order to elevate herself, but even if her sister does have a mild learning disability, why mention it? For
Yeah.
one, it's no one's business, and 2, just watching the video you wouldn't think, hey,
It's not a nice
what's wrong
thing
with
to
that
do.
girl?
You need
She
to-
seems normal. She seems like most of the people that Chantal forces to be in her videos, uncomfortable and awkward because they don't want to be filmed. Because normal people don't.
I think that this guy is touching on something that's really big here. Why does Chantal announce, oh, well, she has a learning disability? Pete's thinks he's on the spectrum. Thinks and is on the spectrum is 2 different things. You should really be tested for that. But it's not her business to say that, to even mention that. So why even state it? That should be something that her sister should want to say herself. Yeah. And she should say it with her sister there, as, confirming that it is an okay thing to say.
Broadcast their entire lives to the internet. According to a former friend of Chantal's named Kathy, Chantal was rather cruel to her young sister during their childhood, claiming, quote, her sister is a sweet girl, wouldn't hurt a fly. She grew up with Chantal telling her she was ugly and dumb. We would be eating and
awful.
watching movies, and this poor kid would sit at a chair by the doorway, where she couldn't even see the screen because Chantal wouldn't let her sit beside us on the couch. This sort of degrading behavior towards others is very
awful.
typical for Chantal.
She's a
So,
mean
even
girl.
though there is no definitive proof that she treated her sister poorly, I'm inclined to believe that she does and did. Needless to say,
can
her
see
daddy
that.
issues in conjunction with her parents
You
having
can-
another child,
You can see her mean girl tendencies when she lashes out in anger. That's a big problem that she has. She lashes out in anger. She quits YouTube. And 1 to 2 days later, she's back on. She's gained so much weight since I first started watching her. Same with Amberlynn Reid. She's gained a crazy amount of weight since I first started watching her. So I don't agree with mukbangs on camera. I only watch one person eat on camera, and that's Katina Eats Kilos. But she's a muscle builder. She's just muscular, and she's bulking right now. So she can sit down and eat a 10,000 calorie meal in a day and be just fine. But she also works her ass off in the gym and eats really, really good in between her big eating things. And most of the time when she eats, when Katina Eats Kilos eats, majority of the time is her doing restaurant challenges. You know, eat this amount of food in this amount of time to get on our wall of fame, blah, 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 all that junk. She's the only one I watch because she eats for the enjoyment of it, but she's also doing it for a purpose as well. So,
During her formative years, caused Chantal to act out. Of particular note, she began sleeping with a 21-year-old man when she was only 15 years old.
When I first met him, I was 15, and he was 21. So yeah, kind of to begin with. I mean, I was a mature, younger person, but...
Doesn't mean you're mature. He should be in jail for that.
Aside from the obvious fact that this man was a predator, he also had a drinking problem, and a girlfriend his own age, who was pregnant with his child at the time. This woman would routinely have confrontations with a teenage Chantal, once even showing up at her school to try and fight her.
I didn't know this guy had a girlfriend that, who was pregnant with his child, okay?
And she's telling stories like this on the internet?
Yeah.
How is that
A girlfriend
showing
liked to fight.
young teens how to act in person? I don't agree with this. I don't agree with her story times.
I'm gonna keep screwing your boyfriend. And I know that's bad. I would never do that now. But when you're young and dumb, right?
No. See? Mean girl.
So we kept on, keeping on.
She's a mean girl.
The tension in Chantal's household was understandably high during this time. She had been seeing several child psychologists due to a plethora of behavioral issues with little effect. According to her, she didn't think she needed any kind of treatment. She was just a spoiled brat, which, to her credit, is partially true. To this day, she displays the traits of a petulant child.
I think I just had, like, spoiled brat syndrome.
True!
I was a trouble teen.
Whether she thought she needed them or not, her opinion didn't stop doctors from prescribing her antidepressants at the time. It also doesn't stop Chantel from using her mental health issues as a scapegoat for her abhorrent behavior, while
does it all the
simultaneously
time.
refusing to follow through with any kind of therapy, which she has sought out and quit countless times in what many believe is an abuse of Canada's free healthcare system. One night, she got into an argument with her mother.
I think so too.
She wanted to go stay the night with her boyfriend, the 21-year-old predator. Obviously, her mother refused. Chantal, angry about not getting her way, decided to fake a suicide attempt.
No.
I emptied out half my bottle of, I think it was Zoloft I was on, antidepressants or something. Didn't work.
Why would you
So-
talk about this online? There's a big suicide problem out there, and this isn't helping.
I showed her the bottle and I said, I'm gonna kill myself. I took half the bottle.
If you're truly gonna kill yourself, you wouldn't take half the bottle, you'd do the whole thing. That
Yeah,
was just a scream for attention.
I really didn't.
Her intentions then were the same as they are today, purely selfish.
You know, I never intended to really do it. I wanted attention.
See? I knew it.
I knew that gave me power, threatening that. I wanted to hurt people.
Her mother rushed her to the hospital
That
and bid to save
ruins
her
your
life.
family's
and when
life.
the nurse told her she had to drink an activated charcoal mixture in order to neutralize the drugs in her system, she became worried that the charcoal would hurt her if no drugs were in her system. So she ran into the hospital bathroom and actually took, quote, some pills.
So in the bathroom, I actually took some pills.
So she's willing
I'll just drink the charcoal.
to injure
I believe
herself?
she's being intentionally ambiguous here in order to make the viewer think that she had actually taken a dangerous dose, but in reality, it was probably no more than 2 or 3 at most. After she confessed this to the nurse, they decided to keep her in the hospital for a few days.
Yeah, she needed
Ironically,
to.
her hospital roommate was a young girl suffering from severe anorexia, hooked up to feeding tubes due to her dire situation. The girl's family would bring her all sorts of food, and well, I'm sure you can guess what happened next. After her stay at the hospital was over, they decided to send her to a psychiatric retreat for youths. She couldn't stand it there as the other patients were actually mentally ill, as opposed to being a spoiled brat who threw a little temper tantrum like she did.
I did not belong there, guys. Like, I stole liquor and pretended to kill myself. These people, like, oh my god.
So she devised a plan to escape, which was, in her own words, to manipulate her grandmother into coming to take her out.
My plan was to run away and call my grandmother.
She uses
because I
her
knew
grandma
my
a
grandma
lot.
didn't know I was there. And this is bad, but I knew I could manipulate my grandmother into feeling bad and not making me go back there.
After what she had just put her mother through, you would think that she would feel enough shame to not abuse the kindness of another loved one so soon. But she will always use whatever resources she has at hand to try and get her way, regardless of the impact on others. In any case, it worked. However, Chantel's mother would not allow her to come home, so she was placed in a group home for teens with nowhere to go, which would set her on a path of alcohol and drug abuse, partying, and sexual promiscuity, behaviors that no doubt exacerbated her already underlying addiction to food. Chantal herself has speculated that her food addiction may be hereditary, as her father was out of the picture due to his alcoholism. She's also suggested that he may suffer from an addiction to food as well, the kind of person she is. Chantal continued to exploit this man over the summer, until one night she brought her 21-year-old boyfriend over to party. The man obviously realized there was something going on between her and Big G, and decided to take matters into his own hands by getting drunk. Chantal felt horrible for Big G, and decided to give him the only thing she could in consolation, not only for the assault, but having sex with the boyfriend in his bathroom during the party.
I don't even know if you can call it sex, because I don't even know if it's inside, because it was very small.
Of course she has to make a snide comment about the size of his manhood. It's something she does quite frequently.
Yeah, she does that a lot.
Keep in mind that, as I mentioned, the 21-year-old she lost her virginity to had a pregnant girlfriend at the time. So while she may try to call him a boyfriend to make herself feel better about being used by an alcoholic predator, even she has slipped up and admitted she was nothing more than a side piece.
So he was like, you have to stop this.
No.
He like talked to her. He's like, you have to stop this. You know, you're acting irrationally. You're going to get in trouble. We have a
15
kid.
minutes.
Again, she was underage at the time of this relationship.
I was 16 or 17. So this is kind of wrong.
No, not kind of wrong. It is wrong. And you're putting this
I thought he was very good
online,
looking.
and young
for
kids
his
are seeing
age.
it. This is
He
really
looked to be in
trippy.
his maybe 40s.
After making excuses not to meet every time he tried, on 2 occasions he bought her a plane ticket and both times he had to eat the cost, she finally told the man she was underage, overweight, and the pictures she had sent him weren't really her, so he dumped her. She chalks this up to him not
She
wanting to be with a
catfished
fat
him.
chick.
So I was like, really? You're not even going to at least wait to see what I look like? It's just like, she's fat, never mind. You know?
Because you lied. You catfished him.
As if it doesn't even register with her that she had lied to this man for 2 years, making him think she was an adult woman. There is no sympathy for how he must have felt, probably worried that this made him some kind of unintentional predator. At every turn in her life, Chantal is the victim, no matter how many mental gymnastics she has to perform to make it so. Funnily enough, this is the closest thing she had to a real committed relationship in her adolescence. It's a bit sad that the only way she could get someone to be with her was to lie about her physical appearance.
Over and bring me a couple of Whoppers. I think it was Whopper Wednesday. He got there, and I was so mad. It gets worse. I was so mad and pissy that he forgot the zesty sauce for my onion rings that I only let him squeeze my boobs.
On another.
So, I think she low-key planned to find some way to get out of the situation just so she can get her burgers. No joke. I seriously feel that she did that. That she wanted to plan a game. You know, she's promised the moon to this guy, and then secretly planned a time to where she can get pissed off at him for something so she didn't have to do it.
She flashed an assurance that they will never be alone. You're their backup plan. We see this today with the relationship. They remain friends. He's obviously still in love with her, even after everything she put him through. You can tell that the moment
I can
she
see
says,
that. I can totally see that he is still very, very, very much in love with Chantal. And the way that she's stringing him along like this is just so awful and cruel in my book. I think, like this guy is saying, you know, she is doing this just to have him on the back burner for when BB doesn't need her anymore for his green card. I think that they're still behind closed doors, still together. I think that in the world's eye, she's with BB. But I don't think that they actually have a real relationship. I think it's just that the real relationship is still with Pete's. I think she's stringing both of these guys along.
16, Chantal lost her job and instead of seeking new work, lived off of unemployment and began regularly uploading videos to her YouTube channel. These videos were all diet and fitness related and showed the true nature of Chantal's channel, revealing precisely why she's garnered so much negative attention and criticism over the years. While a good majority of the videos are not publicly available, the majority of the videos released in 2019 have been archived on her Kiwi Farms thread, and I have saved them all. While it's easy to disdain Chantal for her behavior, for who she is as a person and how she treats those around her, these things aren't clearly laid out for your average viewer. I've spent well over 200 hours watching her videos in order to weave together this story, and I'm sure even I missed quite a bit. No, the primary reason the vast majority of her fanbase has turned against her, the reason so many channels make videos about her, is her constant diet cycling. Despite what we hear from Chantal today about being body positive, how she's happy to be a big girl, she most certainly is not. Nope. She can try and rewrite history for those who may stumble upon her channel by deleting every video with diet or weight loss in the title, but like any endeavor she undergoes, she's too lazy to follow through on it thoroughly, because even though the videos that are explicitly diet-related based on the title have been deleted, there are plenty of videos where she references her endless weight-related trials and tribulations. Even in her earliest videos, she lamented the size of her body.
What is the least favorite thing about yourself? Probably my weight. It's always the number one thing that comes to mind.
In a rare moment of self-awareness, she actually points out that her weight isn't the biggest issue in her life. It's the underlying problems that cause it, her uncontrollable emotions, but more importantly, her impulsivity. She addresses the very real question she knows her viewers will have.
On the days that I don't do mukbangs, I'm gonna eat very little, and whatever I eat is gonna be healthy. And I'm gonna be starting a workout routine.
This video blowing up was probably the worst thing that ever happened to Chantal. You don't have to be a psychologist to know that no one with binge eating disorder is going to be able to simultaneously perform mukbangs and overcome their disorder. She's essentially become incentivized monetarily.
That's why I said she needed to quit.
Chantal recognized,
right? So I have to prepare for that, and I have to come up.
So she says she's going in for weight loss surgery, but for a while there, she was very anti-weight loss surgery. And she said that the only way that she'll get weight loss surgery is because she has ovarian cysts. And the only way for her to be able to get that surgery is to lose weight. So she says she has ovarian cysts, and she starts doing this dieting thing to try to cure her ovarian cysts. I had them as well. I went in and got a hysterectomy because of the ovarian cysts, and it made my life so much better since then. So she uses the reason why she's not going to get weight loss surgery for a multitude of reasons.
With a plan, and that's I'm going to be doing less of these junky mukbangs. Are going to be reserved for treats only. If I'm going to be going for weight loss surgery, I have to start thinking, that way, and preparing mentally. It's not a magic pill. I can't just, boom, I have surgery. But I pigged out the 6 months prior to getting it. I can't do that, so.
Nope.
Your health should be number one, no matter what you do in life. And I know a lot of you watch me regardless. And I know that some of you would leave.
Yep. I left.
If I changed the content of my channel to a more healthier theme.
No, I left because you stopped being healthy. That's the price I gotta pay. Better if I do that.
I guess in her mind, she thought that the audience that wanted her to get healthy would just cheer for her on her diet channel and would ignore the fact that what little work she put into losing weight on one channel would be instantly canceled out by her massive binge on the other. After this attempt to placate her viewers failed, she began lashing out at anyone and everyone who called her out for destructive behavior. First, with small passive-aggressive quips here and there, before eventually addressing her critics directly in a scathing rant within a video titled Indian Food Mukbang Eat With Me, uploaded June 6th of 2017.
I remember that.
So before you all start typing,
she has so many of these.
What happened to your diet?
Freak out sessions and quitting.
Let me explain something to you.
Deleting her weight loss channel, she continued to make it a regular topic in her videos, and did not delete the second channel. On the 1st of July 2017, she releases a video where she changes her mind, claiming that she now believes that losing weight while filming mukbangs is possible, while eating a meal from Five Guys.
You can't.
I believe that you can't have an eating channel and lose weight.
I think I reacted to this.
I definitely do. If you want to see what I do the rest of the day and things that I do eat, go to my other channel, Chantel Marie. It's always in the description. You'll see that I go to the gym. You'll see that I'm losing weight. I know we eat and talk.
Yeah, that's
And
why
yes,
we
it's
know
just
you're
me,
never
but it
going to
still
be
takes
a
a lot of
successful
work,
weight loss
okay? I
channel
work almost
because you
all
don't get
day
the
on
views
YouTube.
like you do when you eat.
Editing videos,
So she's
planning.
willing
I could show you my planner.
to hurt herself
Scripting.
in the long run.
Coming up with different
money.
ideas.
She will be closing her diet and weight loss channel one day after claiming she would be starting a water fast in a video that is now lost to time.
I'm deleting my weight loss channel. I know I've been through this before.
Oh, look!
and
Fireplace.
I'm deleting it for good.
I only recently started doing this because I had this big massive TV behind me and it looked
The water fast video.
not so hot, but maybe I should
the
rethink that
comments
choice.
Were,
Ew.
everyone's an armchair nutritionist, and there was just a lot of concerned advice that I didn't ask for. That being said, I'm not going to talk about that anymore on this channel. You have my word on that.
She lies. She talks about it all the time.
You know, a lot of you get mad because, you know, this is yes, definitely an eye opener for me. I do need to make changes in my life.
And this is where she starts going through a very destructive time in her life with very bad diet choices.
Facing the demons, so to speak.
Because she literally goes from
To face my
binging
health issues and
to
work
starving
better.
herself.
It's gonna be, the material's gonna be a bit different. A negative on my channel, and I just delete you. And that's it. Plain and
As with many other claims Chantel has made,
Fiate
turned
in
out to be a
color
lie. She
cyclone.
later admits that she had in fact, the channel is essentially stagnated. The problem is that the vast majority of people don't watch her for her personality. They watch her for the spectacle that she makes out of herself. There's a reason every video dating back to March of 2018 going forward has the ratings disabled. As she struggled to grow and cope
She doesn't wanna
with
show
daily
them.
criticism in her
She's
failing
embarrassed.
physical and mental health, she's watched videos made about her regularly garnered 2 to 3 times her average view counts.
I'm gonna go grab the
While those
garbage
creators
and
continue to shoot
clean up
past
my
her
mess.
subscribers
I'll be
and
back.
views. The continuous
Calling CPS for somebody... That's not right. You don't mess with somebody's children like that. Ever. Even if they have to get looked into is not right.
followed by
That's
a
just
second email where she clarifies,
disgusting
I don't
behavior.
believe a parent who spends...
even though I've said I'm done with it, I don't know why I'm being involved in drama.
She then proceeds to tell the audience how she just set off a nuclear drama bomb. Quick, someone call the FBI. We've got a case of YouTube harassment. You know, we better take a look at one of these heinous crimes that Zach committed. Brace yourself. What you're about to
He
see
hasn't.
may be shocking.
Nah, girl, just stop eating the ranch. Especially if it's gonna make you poop yourself, or poop your pants, or not be able to control your bowels, or whatever.
Just stop.
Sis, ma'am.
It's like get the runs.
I don't know about you, but I won't be able to sleep at night until this man is behind bars. Absolutely terrifying. The rest of the video is just Chantal literally begging for a hug box.
If you don't like my content, why in the hell are you watching it? Do you not realize that makes you look crazy? I just don't understand the hate.
We
I
watch
just
this because
want it
of the
to
drama.
stop, and I just want people to stop talking about me.
Oh boy. Oh, the beginning
Following
of
the
this
trend of
year
her
was
entire life,
really,
2019
really
was
bad
not a good
dieting.
year for Chantal. She uploaded a New Year's resolution video which was met with overwhelming disapproval. It was lost when she went on her recent channel purge of all health-related videos, but in it she details her new plan to take control of her health: water fasting. She believed
That was
this
the
would heal
worst
her
thing she
ovarian
ever did
cysts
in
and
her
help
life.
lose weight. The majority of comments were quick to point out that this was completely insane. However, she pinned a comment proclaiming the benefits of fasting as a cure-all. If
I
you're
was so
curious as
mad
to
that
whether
she
the
did
fast
that.
worked
You don't
to cure
do
all of her
that.
ailments, no, it did not. Before I go
Okay.
on, I want...
So yes, you need to drink your water. You should be drinking half your body weight in ounces of water a day. But don't go from a binge eater to drinking nothing but water for days and days and days on end, because that is going to create a bigger issue. And that's exactly what happened in her thing. Is she went from doing this water fast, completely falling off the bandwagon, and now we see where she's at now, where she just does mukbangs and mukbangs and mukbangs, and she has no care in the world about her health. I am a fat girl, but I'm trying to fix things.
I want to clarify that while the channels I cover in their name, I've actually come to enjoy them. In April of this
She went after Michael B. Petty and even talked about him seeing his Willie for the first time because he had surgery, weight loss surgery. That was a very low blow for her. It was just wrong. She shouldn't have done it.
The stream had super chats turned off and instead requested viewers donate to the Trevor Project, a charity that seeks to provide support and intervention for LGBT youths who are at risk for suicide.
Have you ever been to kiwi farms or anything like that and contribute to that or are entertained by that?
I've never been there.
You're a horrible human being.
Oh yay, I'm not disgusting.
Make the whole form start anything that I'm not going to finish. If I do something, I'm going to do it behind the scenes, and I'm only going to tell you guys if I've been successful for a little while at it. I promise. I know I've said that before too. And I know it makes me look like a hypocrite because I'm going to eat chicken and about what I said the other day. And I guess maybe I am, you know?
The backlash from this was so great that she uploaded a short video with a black screen and text informing her viewers that
Peace out.
she was quitting YouTube. She did not.
Nope.
In fact, she
not.
returned the same day with a community post, her resolve to change stronger than ever. A few days later, on the 18th of April, she watches a documentary called Dominion, which exposes the horrors of factory farming, and it shakes her to her very core.
And she goes vegan.
So moved is she by the plight of these poor animals that she decides to go full vegan with no looking back, complete with Instagram posts full of obnoxious moral superiority mere
Then
days
she eats
after
chicken.
committing to this radical change in her life. Unfortunately, this sudden air of moral superiority and condescension earned her a less than warm welcome into the vegan community, and many people started to question her level of commitment. Specifically,
She was
why
very
she still had
mean to
all the
people.
videos in which she
I think I did a reaction to this too. I'll pop it up here.
One more video. Counterproductive for me in a weird way. You know what I
She's
mean?
mentally not ready to lose weight. She never was and never will be.
A lot of people are concerned.
Diet bet, that's where I am
They're not
able to
taking
lose
her
my weight.
seriously.
I bet money, and to get my money back,
And I think
I make sure I
actually in a
lose my
weird way,
4%. That's what motivates me.
She praises the miraculous benefits of
I just did a
intermittent fasting while
$100
scarfing
diet
down
bet.
2 Crunchwrap Supremes in order of fries Supreme.
Because ever
and a
since I
bag
got
of
my
cinnamon
fracture in my
twists,
ankle,
all
I've
set around
gained
1,800
some of my weight
calories.
back.
The comments were quick to point out that her new diet wasn't a diet at all, and after pinning a comment where she
get
raises
back
at her
on
critics,
track,
she disabled them
I
altogether.
did this.
Shortly thereafter, she uploads another meltdown video, telling people her diet is none of their business and that she knows what she's doing.
Before and it didn't work. I will link it
I
in this
remember that.
playlist below, sis. Ma'am.
Obviously, nothing came of this thread, except for more backlash and criticism. She continues to gorge herself unabashedly on fast food for about a week, and then on the 1st of June, uploads a video where she says that she's finally seeking treatment for her eating disorder and will no longer be filming mukbangs.
Admit to that.
That's really
I talked to some
kind of
family,
cool looking, going
who are
matte.
concerned about me and really hate these videos, hate the mukbangs. So
3 days later,
I
she
like it,
fires
Matt.
up a
That
live
looks
stream
really
where
cool.
she confesses that before she started rolling, she stopped by an Italian restaurant, and several days later, on the 10th of June, she goes live to once again express her frustration with reaction channels. In it, she specifically goes after a girl named Yabba, who runs a channel called the YouTube Underground.
like there's one now making videos about me, and it's like fat shaming. It's saying like I saw a comment like that she like made fun of my hands having rolls. Like you're a fat shamer and you're a mother.
I don't
too.
agree with the
Like,
fat
how
shaming.
disgusting are you?
Yabba was understandably angry that Chantel would bring up her parenting and warned her that if she continued to talk about her children, she wouldn't like the results.
You're taking this whole offline. You're taking this off YouTube. You're talking about my kids who aren't on YouTube. You're talking about my parenting, which you don't have a clue what
You
goes
just
on in
don't
my
do that.
household.
You just don't do that. I'm gonna leave
Because
again
I'm
to
a
go get
reaction channel and I react to
fill up my
people,
4th
that makes
bottle
me
of
a bad
water.
mom. You act like I'm sitting in front of a camera smoking crack or something.
intake, but also
Saskatoon berry rhubarb pie. I have this for dessert.
She got so
many
much
viewers picked up
flack
on this,
for
and
that.
Yaba made a reaction video.
She had
The
to go
following
back
day,
on and show
Chantel
people.
uploaded a video addressing #pie.
She had to go back on and show people that she didn't eat all the pie in one sitting. For me, I think she just went to the store and bought a second pie. Just to try to prove that she didn't eat the pie, all of the pie.
Which I will now play you in full.
Hi guys. So there's a lot of talk about the pie. We still have it, and BB ate most of it. So I only had the one piece.
She deleted it almost immediately, then commented on Yaba's video, letting her know she was going to be filing a copyright strike. Yaba uploads a video response, promising that if Chantel managed to flag her video down, she would retaliate in the same fashion. Chantel leaves a comment on this video stating that if you use her content to bully her, she will file copyright claims, admitting to yet another blatant abuse of YouTube's copyright system.
She's awful.
She does this for two reasons. One, to collect personal information on people who criticize her, and two, for a sense of control. YouTube won't pull videos down that she reports for bullying and harassment, so she tries to do it herself by banking on Yaba not wanting to share her personal information. Unfortunately for Chantal, Yaba went with the power play and countered the claim, and she was forced to remove the strike. The next day, Chantal uploads a video accusing reaction channels of being ableist and discriminating against her.
This reaction video in particular, for example, that she was reacting to, I found to be very ableist, and ableist is basically, discriminating against somebody who doesn't have, based on their ability to do something, right? Am I describing that right?
This video is a double meltdown special with Pete's guest starring as her angry gimp.
Hello?
Also, if you really think people should be losing weight, making fun of the things they do in efforts to lose weight isn't helping.
At the end of the video, she promises for probably the 100th time that from this point going forward, she's going to ignore her critics, and to her credit, she mostly sticks to her word for the next 2 months. She finally seeks out treatment at an eating disorder clinic, meeting with an eating disorder doctor and a psychiatrist.
By the way, I love my doctor. He takes so much time with me.
For the first few weeks, she follows the doctor's diet of healthy foods and calories in, calories out, which she struggles with.
But I'm not going to do any specific diet. He just wants me to focus on not binging, watching calories, limiting, no fast food. But I did pick up a sub because I did a no-no and I kind of skipped breakfast today.
Then, out of nowhere, she decides she wants to try 30 days of a ketogenic diet against her doctor's wishes.
I think that I would really like to give keto a really good try. A really honest try, a really good try for 30 days.
This is especially ironic since she spent years railing against a ketogenic lifestyle, and the last time she saw a doctor to address her obesity, she quit seeing him because he wanted her to go low carb, opting instead to take the advice of the medical medium. She uses the fact that she can't control what she eats as an excuse, but when an expert lays out a custom plan for her, all of a sudden she thinks she's the one who should take the reins, that she knows what's best for her despite years of failed dieting.
Yep.
As you might expect, the keto diet was a complete failure. In order for the diet to work, you have to put your body into ketosis, which means that it uses fat instead of carbs for energy. The diet works for most people not because you can magically eat as much as you want and still lose weight, but because it naturally suppresses your appetite. Obviously, this is not the optimal diet for someone who doesn't eat based on signals from their body, but from how they are feeling emotionally. So right off the bat, we know she's going to overeat, but the worst part is the fact that you have to abstain from carbohydrates for at least a week for your body to go into ketosis.
So if you use your
which is a
fingers,
feat
use
far
oils in
beyond
your
Chantal's
fingers?
reach. She binges after the first 3 days,
It'll
eating an
clean
entire
up
tray
the
of keto
wire.
fudge and 2 meals from McDonald's. 8 days later, on day 11 of her journey, she cheats again and has what she claims was a single piece of cake, though it was likely much more. If she was even approaching ketosis at this point, she was summarily knocked out of it. 10 days later, on day 21, she posts to her community tab that, despite following the diet to a T, she's up 7 pounds. 2 days later, she
didn't
uploads a
follow
video
it to
where
a
she
T.
learns, upon reflecting on her food journal, that she's been overeating, and takes a urine ketone test to find that she's nowhere near ketosis. on the 14th, where she reveals that her recent tests show that her pulmonary embolism may still be in her lung and that her body may be riddled with cancer in her spleen, lungs, and ovaries. After this,
she watches Life by Jen all the time, and Life by Jen has cervical cancer or ovarian cancer, one of those. And I noticed that she emulates her life around other YouTubers. So when Jen came out saying that I'm losing weight so I can get the life-saving surgery I need to remove the cancer from my uterus, she started talking about that and started talking about the cancer that she may possibly have and all this other stuff. I see right through her.
She decides she's finally going to listen to her doctor, who wanted to terminate her from the program for not following the diet he prescribed over the past month. She takes a brief hiatus of a few days, and when she returns at the end of August, she reveals she will be undergoing a total hysterectomy on October 2nd due to her potentially cancerous cysts, something she could have probably avoided had she had them removed instead of trying to cure them with water fasting and other health advice from someone who could
I had ovarian cysts. They were extremely painful. And a little over a year ago, it was like end of August 2018, I went and had a hysterectomy. I didn't have a total one. I still have my ovaries, but they removed the fibroids that were on them. So that way I didn't go into menopause super early. That was the best decision that I've made in my entire life. I have multiple sclerosis, so every time I had my period, it would get so much worse. It was just an awful experience altogether. And, you know, I'm 38 years old. I am not having more kids. I have my 2 kids, and then I host foreign exchange students, so I constantly have kids. I don't need more kids. My husband's 10 years older than me. We don't need more kids. So I made that decision, and it was the best decision of my life.
Spirits to naturally heal serious illnesses. Shortly after this, she makes a post on her community tab asking her fans if she should go back to mukbanging healthy meals that fit within her diet, which is met with a resounding...
She can't do mukbangs. With her binge eating disorder, doing any sort of food thing in front of the camera is not the right way to go for her at all. She can't actually do it. It is very awful. I mean, it'll just feed into that, and she'll just go through the other cycle of binging and doing all that stuff all over again. She physically can't do it. She mentally can't do that.
No, you're in treatment for food addiction. You've been diagnosed with binge eating disorder. You might have cancer. You're going in for major surgery, and mukbanging is what got you here. She then makes a follow-up post thanking her fans for helping her see reason, and then promptly follows up that post by announcing that despite their feedback, she's changed her mind and is going to go back to mukbanging, but no fast food, only healthy, home-cooked meals. It's the time.
And she prides herself for not being as big as Amberlynn Reid. Yeah, you're 200 pounds smaller, but you're gonna end up there real quick. You're gonna be my 600-pound life just around the corner if she keeps doing this.
Just don't want to. It's not that I'm not strong enough. It's just I don't.
She's not strong enough. She's mentally not strong enough
I'm just gonna like
to do this.
log off and live my life among people in my reality.
Of course, the next
do
day
that.
she uploaded a video titled I'm Impulsive, tearing apart a slab of ribs and a baked potato alongside Pete's, with a newfound resolve to ignore the hate.
They've been regurgitating the same drama in a live stream over and over
Yeah,
and
but
over,
you bring it
like
up.
schoolyard children. I've had enough of the harassment, honestly. I'm being very serious. I've had enough of the BS where it's like, you are... You know, you attack someone's kids, you talk about someone's kids, it's always
She
someone's
does.
kids. Like, what about the disgusting comments you're just leaving for me? But that's okay, right? I can't even believe I'm addressing this. That's how stupid it all is.
She spends a good majority of the video bizarrely imploring her critics to imagine that she was their kid, and to ask themselves how they would feel if their child was getting the hate she did.
If your child
She attacks people and
went
their
on
kids
YouTube
all the time.
and had the kind of harassment that Amber...
But you're a grown ass woman. She is, what, 4 years younger than I am? 34? And she's acting like an 8-year-old. I'm sorry, but my 13-year-old son acts 1,000% more mature than she does. My 15-year-old daughter, 2,000% more mature than she is.
Lynn or I get all these parody channels, all these horrible comments, you would go off.
As if any parent would be more concerned that their kid was being criticized on the internet instead of the fact that they were 35 years old with no job, potentially full of cancer, morbidly obese, and quickly eating themselves into an early grave with a major life-changing surgery coming up in a month. Her lack of self-awareness and unwillingness to own any of the criticism she receives for the poor decisions she has repeatedly made is truly incredible. As a food addict with binge eating disorder, mukbangs are self-destructive and will lead her to relapse, words practically out of Chantel's mouth from a few months prior.
My problem that that I now have is for her to return to mukbangs when claiming she's been diagnosed with an eating disorder is beyond problematic.
Her eyes
In the
are
post,
amazing.
Chantel was furious about two things: Charlie's video being more popular than the channels she reacts to, and the fact that Charlie is an obese woman who is steadily losing weight, saying that just because she's lost a few pounds doesn't mean she has the right to talk about obese people and their struggles, essentially engaging in the fat shaming she routinely complains about receiving herself. Stuffs her face with poutine pizza, which, according to her, is now part of her new diet because, in her words, depriving herself of bad food will just trigger her to binge.
I don't know
and
what
is
this is. I gotta look it up.
which, amazingly, has worked wonders. She hasn't binged since, and she's now down over 100 pounds and counting. Oh. Yeah, sorry, misread my notes. Actually, she went home that night and binged on so much cheese that she believed she needed to go to the ER for severe diarrhea, really getting the most out of Canada's healthcare system. After some pretty overwhelming backlash, she decides not to go to the hospital and apologizes for her impulsive insanity. That impulsive insanity continues when Chantal picks her next target. A young woman battling cancer uploads a video addressed directly to Chantal during a visit to the hospital to receive treatment. In it, she details all the numerous treatments she's undergone due to a battle with an illness she did nothing to bring on herself.
You know, you mention all the time that you got deficiencies, that you have addiction, food binging, whatever, and all the complaints that you have, and you have your health. That's what I know.
What is
poutine? At 34, I was diagnosed with cancer, and at 36, I'm still dealing with it. So,
Gravy.
when you complain about cancer and your food addiction,
Quebec French.
you might have this and you
Dish
might
that
have
includes
that.
French
PCOS
fries,
is nothing
cheese
like
curds,
this.
topped with
So,
brown gravy.
before you stuff your face again and then complain that you might have this and you might have diarrhea and you're going to the ER, I want you to see for 5 seconds what a daily treatment is like here, because they're about to start my injections for iron, and I actually do have an iron deficiency because of the bone marrow transplant that I had to have to live, and this is my daily life. And I have a port in my chest, I've had PICC lines, I've had chemo treatments that have made me lose my hair multiple times. I have endured more pain than you have in your life, physical-wise, health-wise, at a very young age, due to nothing that I brought on myself. So before you complain next time, and you set your tray up in your car, and you complain about whatever you're going through and that you just can't live without donuts and Chinese and pizza and mukbangs, this is the reality. This is reality. This is real life. Not some diarrhea crap that you bring on yourself. I'm just saying.
I love this video because it comes from someone who is actually suffering from an illness that they played no part in. So it holds much more weight than someone like me who tells Chantel that obviously her compulsive need to eat isn't equivalent to someone with a disability or an illness. If anything would finally get this concept to click in Chantel's head, it would be hearing it from someone battling cancer. Chantel's response was so unbelievable that I had to check and make sure it wasn't a troll account. It was not. OMFG, you are such a hateful woman. Stop comparing your health to that of others. Once again, wise words for Chantel, if only she said them into a mirror. Responding like a
actually
petulant
sick.
child to reaction channels who laugh at her is one thing, but to respond like this to some girl with cancer and less than 300 subscribers who was upset about her squandering her opportunity to be healthy,
I'm gonna
she
go
truly
find that
is
girl. I'm
rocked
gonna
at the
subscribe
core.
to her.
I mean it. Chantel is a bad person. After this little meltdown, she once again nixes all talk of weight-related content from her channel and returns to her regularly scheduled grotesque mukbang. The day of her surgery rolls around, and to the shock of no one, it's cancelled.
Hey guys, so I have some kind of bad news,
Of course, it's canceled.
So
She probably said, "Nope, I'm
they
off."
canceled my surgery.
She says it was due to the surgeon needing to reschedule, but the majority of viewers
I think
speculated
she
that it was
canceled
because
it.
of her poor health or because she never scheduled it at all, which causes her to make a seething community post telling everyone to grow up, followed by a post saying she's going to keep her personal life off of YouTube, followed immediately by a post showing her pre-surgery papers as proof that everyone else is crazy, not her. She then rolls right back into mukbanging without missing a step. In fact, her meals are bigger than ever. She manages to go 5 days without bringing her surgery up before putting it back on the table as a topic again, posting a lengthy video going into detail about why her surgery was
didn't realize
canceled
how
and
bad she
promising that it's been rescheduled.
Ooh, I hate
Chantel
when she does
manages to
that beauty
maintain
bite
her
thing.
composure for a surprising few weeks, no doubt feeding her anger with tens of thousands of calories worth of fast food. But Tori, I have to cap off this video before she does something else that bears mentioning, because it's a guarantee that
She
she
did
will.
right after this.
As
She
the
just
cycle
totally
turns,
popped
we
off
can
on
expect
Twitter
more and
and
more
then
erratic
deleted
behavior
it.
out of Chantal until it comes to.
So that was a really long video, but it was very insightful to her cycles and how problematic she is on YouTube. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will pop up some of her Twitter rant up here, and yeah, I just don't know what else to say. This guy did a very great job with exposing her and her cycles and her rage and all that stuff. So anyway, thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.